Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. In today's video I wanted to share something that is happening in my city. The days are getting a little bit warmer, even though the day temperature is around 27 degrees Celsius, but it feels very warm. Especially the afternoon sun is very strong, and I was surprised to see that the humidity level in my city has dropped to 30%, which is very dry. So there is going to be a lot of work in the garden now. But what I wanted to share with you guys is there is some development happening among all of my echeverias. Now you can see this echeveria, I had made a video on the 5th of January, you can see, and the succulent was very colored initially. I thought probably it was because of a lot of sun, but actually the succulent was dormant because the picture with the red edges was shot in October, November, December. That's how the succulent looked, and by 5th of Jan, that's how the succulent was looking. And I thought probably it's because I moved the succulent to indirect bright light, but actually the succulents were slowly losing all the anthocyanin because they were slowly getting ready to get into their growing period. And this is how the succulent looks right now. I also feel, I may be wrong, but I also feel that probably a little bit of growth has been shown on the succulent. Remember guys, all these succulents, either they have been partial or complete dormant during the winters. Now they have stored all the energy inside them because they have been dormant all this while. Now the moment the environment starts to get warmer, and if the warmth is in their comfort zone, they will start to grow a little bit faster. This is what I have noticed with a lot of my echeverias. And this is the reason why, remember I had done a video wherein my Aguides rubra happened to kind of de-stress itself within 24 hours, remember, and I was very surprised that how is it possible for it to change within 24 hours and lose all those colors, that the anthocyanin pigment was immediately starting to reduce. Now the reason behind that is because the succulent is getting into their growing period. They are basically waking up from their dormancy. Now how I realized this is because I was having a casual talk with one of my friend. She is also from Bangalore and she also tends to grow succulents. She told me that few of her Aguides are starting to turn green in color, and that's when it clicked my mind that the environment is getting a little bit warm and now they are starting to get into their growing period. Slowly they are waking up from their dormant season, and that is one of the reason why the succulents are changing the color. I'll quickly show you another clip over here of my Aguides rubra. So the one on the extreme left is the one that I had recently watered. I have put it back again to direct sunlight. You can see there is a lot of direct sunlight, but still the colors are missing. The anthocyanin is missing because now the rubra is getting into its growing season. Is it good or bad? It's definitely good because the succulent is getting into its growing period. For all those people who want their succulents to grow bigger, this is not the time you want to stress your succulents. You want to let them grow. So I will be doing watering as and when the soil gets completely dry. I will no longer stress any of my succulents because it is not going to work out really well. This is the period for them to be in their growing season. Whereas this one is the same rubra. I haven't watered it from a really long time, just like the others. During winters, it was absolutely okay. There were times I used to water my succulents after 2 weeks, after 3 weeks, or even for that matter 1 month. This one was not watered for a month. But now I can see that it is showing up wrinkles. It was not the same a month back, but now I do see a lot of wrinkles, which means that they are waking up and they are searching for water. They are trying to absorb water from the leaves. That's where you can see a little bit wrinkles on them. This indicates that they are waking up from their dormancy. So now, yes, my work is going to be increased because before I was least bothered. I used to water them once in 3 weeks, maybe once a month. But now I cannot do that any longer because if I'm not going to water them, they will start getting wrinkles on them. So if you are from my city, if you are from Bangalore, if you're having echeverias, this is the time not to stress your succulents. They are getting into their growing period. The best what you can do is offer them the ideal conditions. Whenever you feel that the soil is completely bone dry, go ahead and water it. Do not keep them underwatered for a very long time. Do not stress them during the growing period. Otherwise, that will again slow down their growth. Wherever you stress your succulents, the growth also tends to reduce. So if you want your succulent to grow a little bit faster, you will have to give the basic needs. That is, you'll have to water it. You'll have to give the balanced watering. Right now, the sun is not going to matter. Any which ways, we have to offer a good amount of sunlight for 5 to 6 hours, morning direct sunlight after acclimating it. Even after acclimating it, the colors will not be much visible. The succulents will start to turn a little bit green, which is a very natural process. You do not need to be worried. Colors will come back again when the winters will come back. Right now, you just need to focus on the growth of your succulent. Even if the succulent is turning completely green, or if it is having very partial amount of red tips, it's absolutely okay. You do not need to be worried. What's more important is give the right conditions. When it's the growing period, let them grow. When it's the dormant period, you can stress them. Do not do the stressing process during the summertime. Give them adequate amount of watering whenever the soil tends to completely get dry. I will start increasing the frequency of watering probably now during summers. As I told you that the humidity level is almost 30%, which means that it's extremely dry. No wonder my soil tends to dry so fast. Within couple of hours, almost 50 to 60% of the soil is dry. So I think the main reason behind that was the low humidity. And I do not use any kind of fertilizers, but if you are a person who wants to use fertilizers, you can use fertilizers for areas now. That is only if you are from my city, Bangalore, because I'm not very sure which city you belong to and what is the climate right now. Is it already summers or you're still in the winter period? I'm not very sure. But if you are from Bangalore and if you are planning to use any fertilizers, you can give it for your areas. But now the next set of succulents, which are the sedums, graptovarias, graptopetalums, seduvarias, patchophytums, all of these, or patchuvarias, all of these will start to slowly go into their dormant period. So do not use fertilizers on other succulents. You can use it for your areas if in case you want to use. Even if you don't use, it's absolutely okay. For me, it's not a much of an issue because I don't use. But if you are a person who tends to use, you can do it now for your areas if you are in Bangalore, because now they are slowly waking up from the dormancy and getting into their growing period. So even though I am very excited because a majority part of my collection are areas, they are all going to be in their growing period, which means that I can do a lot of leaf propagations. But the only disadvantage is that I will have to increase the frequency of watering. I have a vast amount of areas which will be waking up from the dormancy, and I have to start preparing for the summer schedule of watering. It is going to be a little bit of task, but that is the fun of gardening and taking care of your succulents. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.